on this side of the microphone for a change, I must say. Okay. Mathematica erotica. Still drooling at my age over differential equations, medication has little effect. Others shake their heads as if I have a serious defect. They glaze at the mention of pi, won't look me in the eye when I show dissension over children or nature. Is that a crime? I mean, I like a good view, grass, nameless flowers, but for a real turn-on that lasts for hours, give me an integral sign anytime. So, in a galaxy far away, I used to be a mathematician, but I still love to keep up with maths and particularly science and so on, because it is a great part of our existence, really. And the language is fantastic for poetry. One tries to explain scientific invention, if you like, to those who haven't been trained in science, and of course also the language can creep into any poem, really. An example. QED. My mother demanded I prove the Hahn-Banach theorem. She was like that when I came home late without ringing her. I said, Mum, I've never heard of the Hahn-Banach theorem, and she put on that special face, the one of sorrow and resignation. Call yourself a mathematician, you will never get anywhere in life if you can't achieve a basic QED, or even worse, forget your axioms. I went for an interview at LSE, and Hahn-Banach was mentioned. That was it. My mind went blank. I think Mother was on the panel. In later years, I achieved QED and reported back many times. I could tell from that look of hers, it proved nothing. Right, get a bit of gender balance. Here's a father poem. This is called The Father Thing, and that, in fact, was stolen from Philip K. Dick, who wrote a short story called The Father Thing, in which the boy thinks that his father is in fact an alien. Now, I know my father, I think, wasn't an alien, but he was. I didn't have a meaningful conversation with him, I don't think, in my entire life. But he still was a human ladies' tailor, but he was an inveterate gambler. So this is The Father Thing. I saw eyes light up as it checked each betting slip, tailored its algorithms to sweatshop speed, an amalgam of sewing machine, calculator, 7-horse accumulator, no template for a human and demanded certainty. All right, son, was the call sign when I blipped on its radar before the inevitable short of a fiver. And the meter ticked on as I oiled the mechanism. It rarely malfunctioned, only twice I remember. Are you getting your oats? Attempted connection. And later, that fuck was the mother of overloads. I would talk to him now, but the language is lost. A cipher of semaphore and Masonic handshakes. If there were thoughts, they'd gone with his laughter, leaving the imprint, no reboot possible. A bit more science. Entanglement. A phantom haunts the universe. A quantum thread that binds our lives to distant mass, refusing to let go. Astronomers hold to another truth. As bodies move apart, attraction fades, and memory weighs nothing out in space. Shut up and calculate, they tell the homesick astronaut, and yet, I thought I saw you yesterday and wept. Einstein, one of my heroes, did not like entanglement or quantum theory of any sort, really. It's the old business of, he called it spooky action at a distance. And God did not play dice, of course. I've written about him quite a bit, and there's a new poem, which I hope will be the title of another collection. It's called Coffee with Albert. He was sitting in the corner, sipping a large cappuccino, just staring at the tabletop. I swear it flexed under the weight. Einstein, I inquired nervously, and he smiled as flakes of pastry floated down from his upper lip onto the chocolate foam below. A thought experiment, I ventured, and he laughed, dispensing white quanta of coffee across the void separating our two galaxies. I tried to enlist his help in completing the Sunday cryptic, but he turned me down with a scathing, "God is not a compiler." He offered marriage guidance plus a crash course in tensor calculus. Disappointed, I lied about my theory of life, the universe and everything, and left him with the bill. In the latter part of his life, Einstein tried to get a theory of everything, essentially the unified field theory, and he never succeeded. This was, for the uninitiated, to get the big together with the small, gravity, the general theory of relativity together with quantum theory. There is a candidate for that. The jury is out. It's called string theory, in which the elementary particles are modelled by little loops of string, very tiny. The jury's still out, as I say. So this is, with a nod in the direction of Billy Collins, string theory. The cosmic craftsman will not stop knitting. He's worked through a universe of patterns since Big Bang spewed its skeins and swatches, Goldilocks a pale blue stitch in his catalogue. The cosmic craftsman will not stop knitting. Tricoteur suprême, he has no time for Defarge, who displayed little stamina or aptitude for knitting, knitting, knitting. And now he contorts me in 10 dimensions as I try to thread rebellious shoelaces while explaining the standard model of reality using fermions, bosons, and a cat's cradle. He gives little away as he works the void, wefting dark matter into each sleeve of his latest galaxy wear. Panache may please, yet clash with curvature, but you can't fault him for his flair. It'll take a lot of energy to find him out there in the dark, needles clicking, cast one, pearl one, knit one, pearl one. I don't usually write political poetry, but I saw this quote, which I thought was slightly jaw-dropping, by an Israeli politician, who I think had been Prime Minister at one point. He who does not mow the grass mows him. And it refers, I think, to an article 2014 in the Journal of Strategic Studies, Mowing the Grass, Israel's Strategy for Protracted Intractable Conflict. So this is mowing. Some say it's a historical struggle against the forces of darkness, but for me it's basic gardening. I've always liked mowing the lawn, always loved neatness, although I have nothing against weeds per se. Indeed, I'm inclined to accept the view they're flowers of a particular type, just too prolific, not in the right place. Yes, mowing is great exercise, with some shiny toys for the boys. Anyway, now we've invested in artificial grass to the disgust of our noisy neighbours, but who gives a damn what they think? Weeds still appear occasionally, with little runts and so persistent, as if they have a right to be there, poking through the edges of my lawn. I may decide to cover it with tarmac and be rid of the problem for good. Any two more? You've probably heard of the multiverse, the idea that because this particular universe is so finely tuned to the existence of intelligent life, if we can call ourselves intelligent life, but there are many, many parallel universes out there where other things are going on. Anyway, I thought that this was quite a nice way of thinking about it in terms of some sort of photo album where you're flicking through different universes and perhaps your memories. So this is called Album. Knossos, Machu Picchu, Troy. The pages turn, a window open to a face, eyes shut, a fringe of brownish hair, then Auburn, who knows where, as years collide in Bangladesh or Spain, bleed memories yearning to be firm, made flesh. Southwold, Falmouth, Windermere, it's sunny on his wedding day. He counts the images of friends still bathed with summer light. They wait in darkness everywhere, stare through yellowed cellophane, impatient for an afterlife. The multiverse slides through his upturned hands. Anything is possible. And finally, Turn Around When Possible. This is the title poem of the Mars collection. Obviously, Turn Around When Possible. My sat-nav's memory is worse than mine. Stuck on an ancient chart, sure of a world long gone. At the roundabout, take first left, she says with absolute certainty. She's often wrong these days, and we miss a 5-year-old slip road sailing past some remote junction. She won't change or admit error, though her voice is still youthful, she's showing her age. But I feel an affection, so I make allowances. I half expect her to turn up at my bedside someday. You have reached your destination, she'll say cheerily, and she'll probably be right.